Right.
Hi, I'm Ryan McCrae, and welcome to the Joy of Automobiles. Today we're going to be going over how to change a cabin air filter and an engine air filter today on my friend Matt's 2014 Toyota Corolla. It currently has 68,000 miles on it. Is that right, Matt?
About 80.
Oh, my apologies, 80,000 miles. And the reason why we're changing these filters today is I want to teach viewers like you at home how to save money on changing something simple as an air filter, because nowadays many dealerships and auto mechanic places will try to charge a lot of money to replace a simple filter. For instance, where, on average, a micro air filter or a cabin air filter, usually for the filter itself, is only about $20 to $25. I went ahead and helped Matthew buy genuine Toyota parts because I believe in OEM parts, and Toyota has a wonderful reputation with making genuine OEM parts for an automobile. Now, if I was to go to a mechanic or a dealership, they may try to charge people like Matthew somewhere in the ballpark between $80 to even, I've seen $140 just for a simple filter change, when really this only takes 5 minutes, and you can yourself change it within less than 5 minutes of your time and only spend just the part. So the first thing we're going to change is the engine air filter, which is right here is to help the engine more or less breathe. It provides better gas mileage, better engine performance, and it's always important to change your engine air filter once every 15 to 20,000 miles. Now, Matthew had informed me that when he had bought the car, and I looked over its service history, that it was last changed 4 years ago already. But when you combine that with a little over 20,000 miles, that can lead to a lot of wear and tear. So let's just take a look inside of how to change an engine air filter on a Toyota Corolla 2014. Now, notice that there's two clips. We have one right here, and we have one right here. Two simple clicks. Now we notice here that we have these two lips right here. We're just going to simply slide it out like so. And with a little bit of wiggle room, we can have access to the engine air filter. I will now, it takes a few minutes because we want to be careful. It's an older car. We're going to snake out this old engine air filter. Now notice, it might look clean on this side, but look at the back and how dark and dirty this is. And if we pan it to the sun here, notice how hard it is to see. And that's an easy way to tell that you need to change your engine air filter. Now, let us compare it to a brand new engine air filter, again, from the wonderful people of Toyota. A brand new engine air filter, we want to make sure it's going to be flush, and we also want to try to match it with our current air filter that we had in. And now notice how dirty the original one is, and the quality is kind of thinner, the fabric, compared to this brand new Toyota one, which is actually thicker, and it's also made in USA. So we're going to just simply lift up, and we're going to just gently slide it in. Use my right hand on this. We're going to just gently slide it in, like so. All right. It is in, it looks flush, and now we will commence with sliding in the two clips here, or the two lips here, I should say. I'm going to clip it here. It's nice and flush, as you can see. Just kind of, there we go. We hold it down. First clip is up, and now second clip is up, and now you have a perfectly flush engine air filter. Now let's move on to the cabin air filter. So now with the cabin air filter, guys, it's a lot easier. And it's probably the most easiest filter I've ever seen in changing a cabin air filter. And this is how people will take advantage of the consumer. Like Matthew, unfortunately, where he was charged $80 to just do this thing that takes less than 3 minutes to do. And I'm going to use 2 hands, squeeze, then we pull that out. And now, carefully, there's 2 little hinges on the sides. We're going to push those in and gently slide it out. Now, notice right here, there's this little door, and you just simply pull it out, and it opens up. And notice that there's the original cabin air filter. Now, I want to first, before we pull it out, show you what a brand new cabin air filter looks like. And now the purpose of the cabin air filter is to have nice, clean air that blows through the car as you put on your heat or AC. And it also helps your car's performance in more modern day vehicles. Originally, you know, there was no filter, so you'd be breathing in pollutants and dust and stuff, and that wasn't good for people, you know, with breathing issues. And that's why cabin air filters were installed. But more importantly, it also plays the engine's performance too, and making sure that the AC is nice and clean. Now again, we look into the sun, nice and clean, easy as we can, you know, as we can see. Again, made in USA from Toyota. Now let's take a look in here. Here's the old filter. Now, for some reason, we look here, we notice that it is very dirty, and somehow they even put the wrong size air filter in there, and they kind of crushed it for whoever did this. Notice how dirty it is. You can't even see through it. The old engine air filter was even cleaner than this. Now, you may say to yourself, well, how do you put the new one in? You just simply look to the side, and wherever it says up, you put in that direction. So we're going to just put in like it says. Make sure it's flush. And as always, when you're changing a part, always take a mental note or a few images with your phone, or take a few photos, just to make sure you're putting it in the correct way. And looks flush. We're going to put it in the lip there. And just like that, snapped, and we have a brand new cabin air filter put in. So after you put in the brand new cabin air filter, we snap it back in, like so, nice and secured. Now we just gently lift up the thing here, make sure you hear that click. Now it's aligned. You snap this back into the knob, and that's it. And you just saved yourself $80 to $160. And then that engine air filter, with part and labor, it's probably going to be about $60 to $80 right there. And that's that. Now, the thing I recommend, whenever you have an old part, make sure to put it back in the old box you got it. That way, so the contents don't go anywhere, and it's easy to recycle or throw out, depending how you like to dispose of your used items, like this. And that is how you change a cabin air filter and a engine air filter in a Toyota Corolla 2014. I hope you join us next time, where I'll be changing my girlfriend's Nissan Frontier 2019 engine air filter and cabin air filter.